marriage.
All right, babe, we're getting close to the end of your book here. This is the next installment, the next chapter. What is the name of this chapter?
This chapter is called The Blessed Woman.
Sounds good. I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah, and by the way, this is the next chapter in the book.
You can run in flip-flops, but is that the best way?
Right. So if by now you should probably know that if you're watching this segment. But the blessed woman, we were talking about this earlier, and one of my favorite Psalms personally is Psalm 1. Yeah. And the blessed man, right? But it could be the blessed person. But,
right.
it talks about the blessed is the man, But you said, well, blessed is the woman, right?
Yeah, because I've heard many sermons about the blessed man, which of course I get it.
Right,
it's about a blessed person. But I just thought, well, let me take it from a woman's perspective and, and thinking about things that women deal with. And, even like when
what
you talk
women
about...
deal with?
Well,
okay.
We deal with a lot. But, even talking about walking... True. Not in the counsel of the ungodly. It's like, well, what does that look like today in our world? And you think about things like social media and Facebook and things like that. It's like, where are we getting our counsel? Because I feel like a lot of people are walking in the counsel of the ungodly. And what we may think, oh, that's going to these seedy places or whatever. But today it's in the comfort of my living room. It's, I'm sitting here on my phone. And so I feel like it's important for us to consider, where is our counsel coming from? Because if we want God to bless us, which I think we often want, but we don't understand that we have a part to play too. It's like God wants to bless, but we have to be doing the things that He has told us to do. So anyway, this one, I really just kind of go through Psalm 1, and I kind of give tips for, what I think that could maybe look like in a woman's life or in a mom's life. So anyway, but it's a great chapter. And especially, I also talk about where it says, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. I think that oftentimes wives can struggle with sitting in the seat of the scornful when it comes to their husbands. And, we can think
their
ourselves...
kids too, actually, I would say.
Their kids too, sure. But we think of ourselves so highly, more highly than we ought to think, as Paul says. And, it's just so easy to sit on our high horse and think about how spiritual we are. And, all day, I've listened to worship music and I've read these scriptures, and you walk in the door and it's like... it's easy to scorn somebody that you think is not living up to your expectations of what they should live up to. And it's like, well... It's
kind of the definition of scorn.
Pretty much. But it's like we need to be careful, though, because, if I'm sitting in the seat of the scornful and yet I want God to bless me and it's not working, well, maybe I should consider, what I'm doing. And of course, then you get into, but His delight is in the law of the Lord. And that's what we talked about today, delighting in the law of the Lord and getting His word in our heart. And so it's like...
It's kind of like instead of being in the seat of the scoffer or the seat of the scornful, our delight is in the law of the Lord. There's a lot of opposites in Psalm 1 there, where this is what they do, and this is what we do.
Right.
And so which one do you want to be? And a lot of people are like, oh, there's legalism. Forget about it. What side do you want to be on? Do you want to walk the path of righteousness, or do you want to walk the path of destruction? Yeah. And I think Psalm 1 is a perfect start to that of the Psalms. I can't think of a better way to start a Psalm, a whole book of Psalms, 150 Psalms, with this one. This one is a good one to start off. That's why it's my favorite. But it does kind of divide it right there. Are we going to be going down with what God wants? Are we going to be that tree planted by the streams of living water?
Yeah.
Are we going to produce fruit? Is our fruit going to be good in season?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be nasty?
Right. And oftentimes we wonder, I myself have wondered at times, maybe why God's not blessing in a certain area, which His blessing doesn't mean we get what we want, of course.
That's absolutely true.
But sometimes, I'll hear people and just like, well, it seems like these people or, whoever has all the blessings and I'm not getting it. And I'm like, well, maybe we should read that chapter again. It's like, this is the one that God blesses. And so let me put myself where I need to be. And, even talking about delighting yourself in the law of the Lord, it's like delight. Do you know what delight means? It's like, that's what I enjoy. That's not a chore I do in the morning or at a certain time in the day. So like, let me go and check it off a list. It's like, no, that's just what I long to do. That's what I enjoy doing. So
absolutely.
Anyway, so that's pretty much sums up that chapter. That's kind of what it's about.
So the blessed woman.
So and that's what I want to be, a blessed woman.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you are. And I think we do have to change our understanding of blessings, because in America we think of blessings as more financial and money and things and stuff like that. But when God blesses, sometimes He blesses you with a hard time.
Yeah,
And
it's
we
true.
don't look at it as a blessing at the time, but what it does to us and what it builds in us is better than anything that money could buy.
Yeah.
So we got to rearrange what maybe we think a blessing is, and so yeah, it's a great chapter. Why don't you go check it out? If you can run in flip flops, but is that the best way? Go check it out. We put the link in the description. And here's the picture of the book. Go Amazon, get it. All right, thanks.